Hey guys, it's Maria Park, and welcome to Approach the Nerd and our latest live stream, which is Batwoman Season 2, Episode 17. I'm going to try and push through this, but I am going to be drinking a lot of tea because, guys, I have a very bad headache and I am not feeling that great today. But I wanted to make sure I got my review done since I did promise you guys I was going to do my Fate Wink Saga live stream tomorrow afternoon. So I'm keeping my promise. So I got in my Batwoman review today. So let's talk about the episode. The episode itself was insane. Just insane. There's a lot going on in Gotham. Everybody's excited because they got Kate back. But remember, in the last episode, Kate took off. And when we last saw her, she went back to Ryan Sionis, Black Mask, and was like, "When were you going to tell me I was Kate Kane?" She stabbed him in the hand. Now she's missing. So everyone's trying to find her. Mary's freaking out. Luke's freaking out. Ryan can't find her anywhere. She gets one of these security guards that's in the False Face Society to try and question him and tortures him by spraying perfume in his face to try and figure out where Kate is. Nobody can find Kate. Then they get an alert about somebody showing up at the holdup, which is Kate's gay bar. And when Ryan goes to investigate, she finds that it's actually Kate. And so Kate's pretty much buying. It's open house for everybody. It's pretty much an open bar for everyone in the bar right now. So yeah, Kate's doing that. And like throughout the episode, you already know something's going on because, like, for example, the way she's reacting to certain scenarios, it seems very rehearsed to me. Even down to Mary, how she's like, "Mary, how do I know you again?" When she's like laying down and Mary's talking to her. I'm like, I don't really know if she's actually saying that as Kate being confused or if that's more Cersei in her brain. Basically trying to make Mary feel like crap, which is what happens a lot of the time in her family. Unfortunately, she is the black sheep of the family. Now I will say this, something that keeps getting on my nerves about how they describe Kate, the whole Kate and Cersei situation. They keep saying, "Oh, it's not Kate, it's Cersei." And I'm like, it's not like Cersei's dead body soul just rose up and basically took over Kate's body. It's not, it wasn't a soul swap incident. We're not pulling a Psylocke or a Quanon and Betsy Braddock thing back in the X-Men Marvel days. No. She basically is a suggestion in Kate's mind. Cersei is not real. The real Cersei is dead. It was not a soul transplant. It was not a personality transplant. It is the power of hypnosis and suggestion. And they don't know the keyword. And Alice has not been around her. So unfortunately, the suggestion in her head is stronger than the small girl that is Kate, that represents Kate and her memories. So that is the first problem. And every time I talk about, no, it's really Cersei, I think there's more Kate in there. I'm like, no, it's all Kate. Like, everything that she is doing is still technically Kate's body. Like, everything physically about her is Kate. It's just her mind's messed up. So it's really interesting. I just had to disclaimer that because every time they would say it, I'm like, okay, they're acting like this girl's possessed. But we find out in the episode she is very much still working for her daddy, Black Mask, and that she's basically a double agent. She unfortunately gets handed the keys to the Batcave. Basically, they give all of Kate's journals to her, access to the Batcave, like everything, because Luke and Mary are so excited to have her back, and even Sophie, that they just automatically trust her with everything. Even though Ryan's like, well, maybe something's wrong, maybe she's not ready, maybe they should slow down, and they're not listening to her. Now, I thought in the last episode they were gonna like tell Ryan, okay, well, sayonara, time to go. But Ryan actually is the one that was removing herself from the equation. She was giving the bat suit back. She was going back to living in her van. She was doing all of these things that unfortunately could have gone the other way. But at least I know that Luke and Mary and even Sophie were not going to be like, we're not trying to basically throw you back on the street and give you nothing. But that really is Ryan's doing it because Ryan is having insecurity issues now that Kate's back. And part of Ryan saying all of the things that she said about Kate not being ready and being through so much and all that is also from her insecurity, because when Kate comes back, she has no reason to be around. She has no reason to be Batwoman when the original Batwoman is back. So there's that. I don't want to recap the full episode because, I mean, if you're watching this, you've watched it. So we're just going to talk about other things I thought were pretty cool. So Ryan has basically recruited the Crows into the False Space Society. All of the ex-Crows they're all unemployed now, so they have nowhere to go. So they're now going to be part of the False Space Society, which is interesting because we also learned in this episode the full story of, Cersei being assaulted, and then having the Crows cover it up, and then they stuck her in Arkham Asylum to make her feel like she was crazy, and then she gets trampled to death. So her story is sad. So that's why Ryan's doing the things he's doing. He's actually very, very ticked off that all of that happened. So the fact that he was the one who was recruiting the people from the same organization that covered up his daughter's assault in the first place is crazy, which means he has another nefarious plan. And we do know that in this episode, when Cersei / Kate decides to infiltrate the Bat cave, and she does this with Sophie. She goes with Sophie down because they get an alert that Ryan was arrested, which she was, and I'll get to that in a minute. And she basically sees all the Bat tech and then shoots Luke, Mary, and Sophie with these darts to knock them out. Now, she didn't kill them, and she could have killed them because Kate Kane is still effing Kate Kane. But she locks them in the elevator and makes it so they can't get out, and drug them. And then she took it upon herself to go back into, these other secret compartments and rooms that Bruce had when he was, basically his time as Batman. So we get to see all these different projects and these really dangerous, experiments that are in certain rooms. And then we see what I call the Batman trophy case, where he has Joker's, acid flower. He has, also the most important elements that you'll see is he has, an item from Bane, which is, I call it the steroid pack, and the super steroid pack. And then he has one of the vines from Poison Ivy that she was actually sent to get by Sophia, because she's actually working with Sophia, because Sophia wants to use it to take the bud of the desert rose she got from Ryan last week to grow thousands of desert roses on Koryana, so Koryana can come back to life. Because apparently, as we all know, if you read the comics, we all know how adaptive and strong Poison Ivy's vines or her green are. So that actually tracks with me. That's very comic accurate. So I could see that being, motivation for Sophia to want to get, to have Cersei, or AKA Kate, get that from the Batcave. Interesting that she knew it was there. I don't know why Sophia knew it was there, but you know what? I don't question this stuff anymore. I just kind of go with it. It's literally how I am. I'm just going with it. All right. Now I will say, Ryan gets arrested. She gets set up basically because one of her last things that she does as Batwoman is she goes to one of the places at GCPD with one, I guess, detectives that are working with Ryan, or with Ryan, or working for Ryan, and the guy's working on his laptop. So she goes and she steals the laptop and she takes it back to her van, which I thought, well, first she goes to the Batcave and no one's in there. Then she goes back to her van to try and log in and all this stuff. And I was thinking that's really stupid because, I'm pretty sure there's tracking software on that laptop, and sure enough, they show up at her van, and they put a bunch of snake bite injections in a bag and claim that it's hers. They take her to GCPD where Ryan has this conversation, and with Ryan has it with Sionis basically, and they have this whole conversation, and she's even talking about how your daughter wouldn't like this. You're doing this in her name, and this is kind of disrespectful to her memory. And he's like, I don't really care what you say, Batwoman. So he knows she's Batwoman. And of course, Ryan lets him know, I know you're Black Mask. And he's like, well, you're going to die today. So it's cool. Now, one thing I will say about CW shows, if you really want to kill somebody, you just do it there. You turn around and you blow their head off. But no, it has to be an elaborate thing. You have to get you inside the building, call your parole officer, and then have this whole to-do thing. And then you go missing. So I'm like, okay. But she's got main character insurance. So, it's all good. But I will say the scene between Ryan and her parole officer is something else that I really enjoyed, because we haven't seen the parole officer in a while. And the parole officer was like upset. She's like, you were literally a day, I think it was a day or a week away from your parole hearing. I was going to have you, have it dismissed, for good behavior and all this. And she was like, and Ryan's like, look, I was set up. She's like, that's what you always say. You were set up last time. And like, technically, she kind of was, but and finally Ryan just tells the parole officer that she's Batwoman. And I'm like, oh, we're doing that now. So I guess, everybody can know, basically. Tell the parole officer you're Batwoman. And then the parole officer like didn't believe it at first. And she's like, look at all the people that have me here. Look at the weapons they have. Why would everybody be this heavily armed and have this many people just for somebody who's a druggie or a drug pusher? And then when the people come in to try and take her, she starts beating their butt. And then the parole officer kind of sees, and she's like, oh, okay, maybe you weren't lying, and she gives her a badge so she can get out. And so the parole officer is on her side, which is good. I don't know if that's going to help her with a parole hearing or not. Maybe not. I don't know what's going to happen with that. But again, Ryan has main character insurance, so she's not going anywhere. So it's fine. But when she goes back to the Batcave, she takes on Cersei/Kate. And let's be real, Kate beat the hell out of Ryan again. Kate beat the hell out of Ryan again. But you know what? That's how it should be. So, I'm just going to be real with you, because Kate trained for years and Ryan just had karate classes. So, just put it out there. Kate beat the hell out of Ryan. And then I love how Cersei's like, don't feel bad. Kate couldn't beat me, either. And I'm like, but you are Kate. Again, disclaimer. Cersei has not taken over Kate. Kate is Kate. Kate just has Cersei's, stuff in her head because of Enigma. It is not, she's not, nor will she ever be Cersei. She's just messed up in the head. It is an implanted identity. It's still Kate. It is Kate's skill level. It is Kate's body. It's Kate. It's the whole reason why she didn't kill Luke, Mary, and Sophie. She couldn't. But I will say, when Sophie and her were at the bar and, Sophie showed her the letter that she wrote before, if something happened to her, the look on Wallace Day's face as Kate in that moment was hilarious. She was like, this bitch thinks I love her. She lost every piece of her mind. And it was like so funny to me. I don't know why. I was giggling at that role. And Sophie getting all dolled up because she's like, my woman's back, and Ryan calling her out on it. That was really funny too. But yeah, that's just like minute point. Let's get back to, because I'll get to Alice in a minute. Let's get back to all the items that were taken. So again, I told you she took Joker's flower. She took, of course, Poison Ivy's vine, but she also took the backpack of pain of Bane. And Agent Teabag, I'm just going to call him that because that's basically what he is. Agent Teabag is one of the recruits from the ex-Crows to work in the False Space Society, but he said he didn't want to be a cog. So Ryan's like, Sionis is like, well, what if I make you the machine? And as soon as he said that, and I saw that they had all of the wonderful chemicals that makes Bane what he is, I was like, oh, they're making Bane. And sure enough, that's exactly what's happening. So we're going to have Bane. Agent Teabag will be Bane. And that's going to be interesting. Especially since Kate, a.k.a. implanted mind Cersei, took all of the bat tech, like everything. She's got the suit, she's got everything, and she was literally modifying it and cutting pieces out of it and doing whatever she was. She's remaking her suit to look really badass. She's actually going to look like something out of like the Batman Who Laughs, probably by the end of the day. But it's pretty cool. And then of course we have Sophia's very crazy obsession with Alice. Because as I've said in the past, if you've read the comics, you know that Sophia had a relationship with Kate Kane, not with Alice. The only relationship she had with Alice is that she helped make Red Alice. That's literally her role. She created Red Alice. But so this whole obsession with Alice that Sophia has is just really interesting because she didn't care about killing Ocean, her adopted brother. She didn't care that her most loyal person, her Tatiana, was killed. All she cares about is bringing Alice back to Coriana to live with her because she's gaga goo in love with Alice. And Alice basically stabbed her with the Desert Road's dagger because she doesn't want to kill her. She wants to make her suffer. And that's Alice. So she still has a cray in her, but the whole scene with her crying and asking Mary to save, Ocean, and even threatening her life for a second and saying, I should have left him, I lost everything because of Kate and I should have left with him when I had the chance. I mean, I felt bad, even though I know she's done horrible stuff. And I know that she's been tortured, but like in that one moment, you see how good of an actor or an actress Rachel really is as Alice and Beth, because they were like two characters simultaneously: the rage and anger, and then the heartbreak and desperation all in one. And you see it on her face, and that's why I really like her as an actress. So yeah, Alice lost Ocean. And now she's out for blood. And Sophia also made the mistake of saying that she lost her sister too. Did you really think you got your sister back? And Alice is like, okay, well, I'm going to get her back now. So we already know that Alice, in the next episode, Alice is going to be the one that pulls Kate completely out of Cersei, or the mind control, which is what it is. But at the end of the day, this is still Kate. And again, Kate is still there because she didn't kill Ryan. I mean, she didn't kill Mary. She didn't kill Luke, and she definitely didn't kill Sophie. And Sophie couldn't shoot her either. She's like, you're not going to shoot me because you love me. And sure enough, Sophie couldn't do it. So it's a mess, guys. It is a mess. I know we're getting Batwing. We're going to get, I'm wondering who else we're going to get, honestly. There are a lot of options, but the way it looks like Kate's going to have to go on a soul journey, which is not out of character. Because if you remember in the pilot episode, she did go to, I think, Tibet and was like literally diving in ice and stuff, training. So, she may, if she does exit the show, it will be because of that. But I don't think she's going to exit the show in the season finale, which is, I guess, this Sunday. It just seems like the season just kind of flew by. It's weird. But yeah, I don't think that we're going to lose Kate 100%. I'm hoping that we get Kate back at the end, but I need them to make a place for her in Gotham because I just need that to happen. And I need her to train Ryan because Ryan needs to be trained because Kate was whooping her ass. She whooping her ass. I'm sorry. There's no way around that. She literally is about to beat her to death. I think it's with a fire extinguisher. I don't know what she was hitting her with at the end, but it was like, wow. And I knew that was going to happen. I knew Ryan was going to get her ass whooped. And I loved how Ryan was like, I can't beat Cersei without the tech and the suit, basically. And she said, I'm scared. And she has every reason to be scared because girl beat her ass. And she really, I don't even feel like Cersei, AKA Kate Kane, was trying. She wasn't trying. So she definitely needs to go through the whole extensive training program. But for me, and this is just me, I'm just going to say it, I kind of feel like Sophie and Kate had the same training at West Point. So couldn't Sophie have taken her on when they got out? Like, I would love to see a sparring match between Sophie and Kate because technically they should have the same fighting level, which also means that Sophie could beat Ryan's ass. I mean, just putting it out there. But yeah, in a nutshell, that was the episode, like my quick recap. So let me look at you guys' comments. Again, I do apologize. I'm usually more animated, but I have had a headache all day. And my spouse is trans male, so we celebrate Father's Day for my spouse. So it's been Father's Day, and I was trying to do all the celebration stuff, and I got sick. I don't know if it's my anemia or what, but I just don't feel good. So I don't want you to think I'm not putting in my 180%. I just don't feel well, and even the lights are bothering me right now. So just saying, but I wanted to get this done because I didn't want to be behind, and I wanted to be able to talk about this. So I'm starting to think we are never getting Kate back. I think we are going to get her back. I really do. I think we're going to get her back. I just think that it's going to be one of those, because we see it in every Arrowverse show. There's always an evil and good fight. I mean, it's just like watching Superman and Superman 3 when you had the evil Superman and the Clark duking it out. That's pretty much what's happening right now. They can't have Kate just originally come back like instantly, because then everything goes back to normal. If she's fine, there's no reason to have Ryan around. Everybody's going to accept her as Batwoman. Poor Ryan's out on her butt. There has to be some kind of conflict. And so this is what this is. And I'm completely okay with it. I really am. I guess my thing is I want to know how Jacob's doing in Metropolis. I mean, is anyone caring that he's in jail? Because, I mean, they cared last week, but I mean, do they care this week? And also, is anyone going to get poor Julia from Germany? Just brainwash Julia. I don't know. I just really need to know. Ryan is pulling a Barry Allen with this secret identity stuff. My name is Ryan Wilder, and everybody, I'm Batwoman. And I'm not trying to hide it. I wonder now that her parole officer knows, if she doesn't have to do check-ins anymore, even though she's like a day or a week out from being paroled or being done with it. Now she's just basically like, yeah, it's all good. Kate is basically Jason Bourne. Yes, that is a very good comparison, actually. You're absolutely correct. I mean, they've even referred to her as a sleeper agent in this episode, so it makes sense. But as of right now, Kate Kane might not come back, and honestly, I would love to see Wallace in the Batwoman suit. Why I feel that's not going to happen. I think it is going to happen because on Instagram, Alice's actress took a picture with Wallace in the Batwoman suit. So I know she's going to be in it. Now, what capacity, I don't know. But again, I mean, honestly, I would have loved to have Ryan be another type of hero and not Batwoman. Not saying she's not good as Batwoman, but I love Kate Kane in the comics. So I would like for her to be Batwoman, but then have Ryan be something equally as cool and not be like, the sidekick. We don't want her to be a sidekick. We don't want her to be Batgirl. We don't want to be, the next Robin or whatever else Bat family member we want to throw in there. We don't want that. We don't want to take away the notoriety, especially since, she's pretty much the first female Black lead of a comic show in the Arrowverse. So we don't want to take that from her, but I just feel like getting rid of Kate Kane altogether is tragic because I've always liked her character, and I don't know. It's a dilemma I face, guys. Maybe Bruce. I would love for Bruce to come back. That would be awesome. Hi, Susie T. How are you? Honestly, I would love for some point in season 3 for Kate and Ryan to kind of play it off as a Batman and Robin kind of idea, but not in that kind of way. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's hard because so basically it's such a tricky slope. You don't want to. I'm trying to see how I can say this as a whole ass minority, as a mixed girl who claims her Black side with pride and would never not claim my Blackness, for you to make a Black female a lead superhero and then turn around and give it back to a white woman right now would be very bad optics for this show. I'm just throwing it out there. It would be bad. And now, to be fair, even though she first had it, and it would be kind of similar to what happened with Quanon and Betsy Braddock, whereas Betsy got her old body back, and Quanon Psylocke got to be in her. She had to be in her original body, and people thought that the character was being, because they really got in their feelings saying, "Oh, you're race bending this character," not realizing that the woman was originally Japanese the entire time, and Betsy was always a white British woman. So it would be kind of something similar. But I just feel like they can't do that. I don't think they can take Batwoman from Ryan. It would not look good optically for the CW to do something like that. I mean, honestly, I say this a lot, but I feel like the internet would break. They already canceled Black Lightning. They did not pick up Painkiller. And then you're going to take Batwoman away and give it back to Kate Kane. I really feel like that would be a huge F up on their part optically. Now, making Kate Flamebird I would be down for, considering in the comics that was her, I believe it was her aunt, Batcane, back in the day. So making her Flamebird, I could see. But we'll see. My fear is this: when Ryan gets a lot of confidence, she starts getting very bossy, and it's the only time that I really feel like, even though the character is portrayed as poor and disadvantaged, it's the only time I ever feel like she kind of has some kind of entitlement issues. And that's when she's in the suit. Like we've seen it before when she would get in her feelings with Luke and with Mary, and she'd say, I'm the one in the suit. I'm the one doing, getting shot at. I called the shots. And I'm like, you've literally been in the freaking suit a millisecond. And these people, especially Luke has basically knew Batman. So I need you to at least listen to him, And to be fair, I know that Bruce was not giving her a chance originally because he was a little to Kate. But I'm just saying that Ryan has the ability and the annoying habit of getting in her feelings and acting on said feelings without thinking. Like things come out of her mouth before she thinks it through sometimes. And so I'm worried that if Kate comes back and they work together, and Kate's been doing it longer and is basically, she is related to Batman. It's like a family legacy at this point. And Ryan gets in her feelings and say, well, I'm Batwoman and we're going to do this my way. I don't know how I feel about it. I think I might be a little put off by that. It would be like Terry and Batman Beyond telling Bruce to stay in his lane. I wouldn't like that. I'm just saying. Have you seen pictures of the new Supergirl? I have not. Again, I've been sick all day. So if it's something that just came out today, I have barely been on the internet. So, yeah, I need to check it out. So if it's something I need to see, tell me what it is, because I'm behind. I'm sorry. I want to see Ryan become a different kind of hero, but still work with the Bat team in the end. Yeah, like I said, they cannot take Batwoman from Ryan. It would not work out optically. What are your thoughts of Luke becoming Batwing? I'm here for it. I mean, he was Batwing in the comics. He was a different type of Luke. I remember doing a collaboration with my good friend Ernie over at Blurred Without Fear, and we were talking about how Luke in the comics kind of reminded us of the Luke portrayal of Crisis on Infinite Earths. He's not anything like the Luke we have in this version. This Luke is a cross between Felicity and Cisco. That's kind of how I see him. And that's not who he was in the comics. But I mean, I'm here for it. I mean, they are trying to toughen him up a lot more. After he got shot, he seems to have gotten a little bit more gruff. He talked to Diggle. So we'll see where it goes. I'm curious to see what his first fights are going to be like, considering I don't think he has fight training. So it's going to be a thing. Batman, The Long Halloween Part 1 film is out and it's pretty good. I heard that. That's actually in my queue. So I am, I still have to watch the other one. The name just went out of my head. It has Lady Shiva in it. I need to watch that one too, because I love Lady Shiva. But yeah, that one is definitely in my my queue. What do you think of the bathing suit design? I think that goes back to the DC and Marvel calendar women days. I don't know. I'm in my feelings about that. As far as principal episodes go, Batwoman was a letdown. I wasn't feeling this episode, so I'm hoping that the finale is much stronger, but this cut off a bit of excitement. 6.5. I can see that. Like I said, I think for me, the whole Sophia thing is getting old. I really expected Sophia to be a lot more of the villain, but they had to bring Black Mask in. I'm like, you could have made Sophia a lot worse. You could have made her more like her comic counterpart. You did not have to make her be the back supporting villain to the main villain in this story. But, whatever. It is what it is. Seeing all the Batman villain stuff had me geeking out. I was too. I was looking around. I'm like, is that Penguin's? Because I thought I saw Penguin's top hat and cane in the back, but I wasn't sure. But as soon as she looked on the side and they were talking about how extremely dangerous, it was a vine. I'm like, Poison Ivy. I'm like, Poison Ivy. I also found myself looking for Harley Quinn stuff. I'm like, is there anything from Harley Quinn over there? I'm like, but yeah, they had tons and tons and tons. I don't think they've cracked the surface. I guess my main question with that is, why is all of it underneath, Wayne Industries building? Why is none of this back at Wayne Manor? I don't understand. I really don't. And then why in the heck? Why can't Ryan and them go stay at Wayne Manor? It's a whole freaking house with nobody in it. It's a mansion. There's plenty of rooms. They literally could say, hey, we don't need to be in this tiny little loft. We can go all the way to this big mansion and all of us can stay here. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just used to the Batcave being under the house. I just can't help it. I guess call it nostalgia. I just like it. I stopped watching Batwoman way back after the episode she was talking about pronouns in the club. Who was talking about pronouns in the club? I forgot. I'm sorry. From what I remember from the comments, Kate always came across as a female James Bond. Yeah, she did. Well, remember, she was very infatuated having met Batman the first time. You know, she just really, the whole thing with West Point really happened. Her meeting Sophie really happened. Her being discharged for the don't ask, don't tell policy really happened. But her and Sophie didn't have the relationship they have now in the Arrowverse. That was not a thing. At this point, she was either with Renee Montoya or she was with Maggie Sawyer. And yes, the same Maggie Sawyer that was with Alex, only I think she was a little bit older and I think she was divorced from some guy in the actual timeline. And then her and Kate got together. So to be fair, Kate's had a lot of women and Sophia was one of the women that she got with. So yeah, Kate has had a long history. Yeah, she's very stealthy. She kind of looks a little bit like Natasha Romanoff, our Black Widow, a little bit in the comics, the way they draw her. And had a crap ton of money like she does in this show. So, but she was not as androgynous or butch as she was, is like, she's very feminine in the comics. So it's completely, she's almost more like if you really took Mary, or even Sophie, that was more of Kate Kane's style in the comics than, what's happening with both Wallace and what was with Ruby Rose. So they made changes for the show, basically. Anyway, there's a reason the show has the worst rating in CW history. I didn't think so. That's actually not true. And I will call you out on that, because the worst rated show in the CW history right now is Nancy Drew. When you get a consistent 0 rating 3 or 4 weeks in a row, you cannot go lower than a 0. Well, you can. Negatives. And they probably got that too. They literally said in 2 separate stat meetings that they were not drawing in anybody between the ages of 18 and 35 when this is literally a show with millennials. So, I mean, I got to call you out on that. That is not true. Nancy Drew is the lowest rated show in CW history. I know I personally like Kate and Ryan as Batwoman, but I don't know how they can change that and keep both characters if they want. Like I said, I can make Kate Flamebird. I mean, technically, Bet does predate Kate in the comics, so it makes sense. The episode was called Kate Kane, and we didn't really see Kate Kane. We saw her, technically. I mean, again, Cersei is not inside of Kate. It is all Kate. Kate is just believing she is Cersei, which is very weird. Do you think the Joker is really dead? Wouldn't it be interesting if Joker isn't dead, that the reason Bruce is missing is that either Joker took Bruce or Bruce has Joker somewhere. And they're either torturing the heck out of each other or doing, you know what I mean? It's like he removed Joker, but he didn't kill Joker. He imprisoned Joker somewhere and then took off. I would love to know the reasoning. What drove him to quote unquote kill Joker? What was the final straw in that? We know it's not Injustice, because if it had been the Injustice storyline, all of the people in Gotham would probably already be dead. So do you think we'll see Magistrate in season 3? I don't know. If we don't in season 3, definitely in season 4. I think there's a lot of people coming that they haven't announced, but I will tell you this. Ocean was an original character. And I feel like with the original characters, I feel probably the worst for them, because Ocean literally, he started off, as Beth's love interest with no memory. Then they got together and then he died. That's literally been the whole trek of his story in season 3 or season 2, sorry, that he literally had no story. Like, I know less about Ocean now than I did in the beginning. Like, we know he was on the island and that Sophia considered him a brother, but why did he go to that island? Where did he actually come from? Did anybody remember this? Because if they said it, I don't remember it. We know he wanted off the island. We know that he wanted to live his best life, but somehow that equated to him making snakebite for a black mask, and basically probably taking other kinds of illegal odd jobs to survive, and then getting his memory back. And then when he got his memory back, it's like he became a completely different and weaker person, which I don't understand. And I said it last week and I'll say it this week. How in the hell did Ocean die by Tatiana? Because he was the one training everyone on the island. So if he was a trainer and considered the best fighter, which is why Beth learned to fight from him, then how did Tatiana get the drop on this man? I don't understand. But that's just me. It's just very crazy. I don't know. Well, you may have a point. Nonetheless, you have to admit the ratings are in the tank. Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you, Michael. A lot of the Arrowverse shows are in the tank. Superman and Lois, even when it came back, did not do well the first 2 weeks because I guess people didn't realize it was back. The Arrowverse has been on the precipice of crumbling for a very long time. And the decisions that they make at the CW, I mean, I just feel like they're setting themselves up to fail, which is really bad because Superman and Lois is actually not bad to me. I actually enjoy that show. Stargirl, I know I'm going to enjoy. I love season 1. I'm pretty sure I'm going to love season 2. But they're all in the Arrowverse right now, and they don't match up with the other shows. So I'm kind of on the fence. Now, as for me, and I know I say this a lot, I am a queer woman, so I'm always supportive of characters having representation. I don't mean everybody has to be gay. I mean, but when you have a superhero that is queer, for me, that's a novelty because I'm almost 45 years old. I didn't have that growing up. So this is a novelty for me. But it's just weird, the writing. Like, I feel like the writing on these characters is very difficult sometimes to swallow. And I don't know. It's been a problem. I will say I have enjoyed some of the episodes of Batwoman this season. I'm not going to lie. I haven't. And I am a person that is very blunt and very honest. I do not make apologies for what I do when I do not like. And if you don't like it, that's not my problem. But I have to agree with you in terms of the Arrowverse. There have been, especially with Crisis on Infinite Earth has to be the worst crossover of any Arrowverse, of any of the crossovers the Arrowverse has ever attempted to do. It was absolutely idiotic, and I hate it. I hated every minute of it. The only thing I liked was that they had Kevin Conroy, not his part, that they just involved him in a form as Batman. And I guess I liked the fact that Luke was more like Luke. So that was a plus, I guess. But even the cameos were nothing. They promised these cameos, and it was like they were in there for like a millisecond. If you blinked, you missed half of them. And I'm like, it was stupid. It was just very stupid to me. So, yeah. And it led to nothing because half of the Justice League they just formed are already gone. So I don't know where we are. We're literally floating off into the DC universe. And right now, to me, this is no more connected than the DCEU. And that's literally how I feel. Bruce is probably just hiding in Wayne Manor Batcave. That would be hilarious. I'm not going to lie. I would laugh so hard. But no joke, I can't believe that Bruce doesn't have a spare Batsuit somewhere in Wayne Tower storage or in the Batcave itself. I can't believe Bruce didn't come back for Crisis. I can't believe that Bruce wasn't considered important enough to come back for Crisis. Like, nobody. Well, you know what? I say that, but we had a whole freaking planet of, Kryptonians, and they didn't grab but Superman and Lois. So, I mean, like I said, hey, but he died twice. True. Oh, wait. Did he die twice? Yes. Ocean died twice, technically. I mean, he didn't technically die the first time. He got stabbed with a desert rose-coated dagger, but they thought he was dead. And now he's dead. That's like it's throw him in the Lazarus pit, but I don't even think no, because they got rid of that in Arrow. So I guess they don't even have that as an option anymore. So I'm a Batman fan from way back in the day, and I just hate seeing what they've done to the whole Batman legacy with all the Wookiee-ville ignorant writing. Yeah. Okay. So I get it. Like I said, I was born in 1976. I understand. I am not young, but I'm not old. I'm like middle aged, I guess. And I started reading comics when I was 5 because I was a military brat and we were stationed overseas. So that was literally what I had. And I do understand that. But I mean, with Kate Kane, like nothing in Kate Kane is new. Her Batwoman run, this is not new. She is flamingly gay. This is not, and when people actually say that, when they're like, "Oh, they made Batwoman a lesbian," I'm like, then obviously you don't read the damn comics because the girl has been a lesbian since day one. That is not new. This is not a shock. It's just like Anissa and Black Lightning. She was always a lesbian. What they did change was Grace, because Grace was like freaking Themysciran basically, or an Amazonian, same bloodline, buff as hell with short red hair. Not the shapeshifter wild thing they got going on. But then Arrowverse is its own universe. People take liberties. The MCU takes liberties. DCEU takes liberties. Heck, the freaking Defenders on the Netflix shows, all of them took liberties. They were swapping partners that they were were never together. So I am used to them doing that. And I do understand that people have a problem with content being dribbled down their throat because they feel it's too woke. I'm on the fence because some of the people that I've seen bitching about racial issues and sexuality issues and all that probably are the ones that need to have shit that are well shoved down their throats. Because if you are this passionate about it and you get this angry about it, there's a problem. But at the same time, it is what it is. It's a superhero show. Superhero shows have always been about politics. X-Men was created basically as a response to the civil rights movement. And then as we got the legacy virus, it was a response to the AIDS epidemic. I mean, I literally could write a paper on this crap. So politics are always going to be in comics. You just choose to see it or you don't. But to disclaimer, there's never been a point in a comic book in any run where you read it and not realize that it is woke. It's just what it is. Because comics are a reflection of what's going on today. They just change the dialogue, the names, and make it puffier and prettier. And you just see people with powers, and then you just forget that you're actually being educated. And that's how I feel about it. I really hope we see Bruce or maybe Julia to come back at the end of the day and help protect Gotham. I feel sorry for Julia. Julia is another character that is very shafted in the Gotham universe. She's there, she's not. It's just, whew. That's, I guess, a lot of people weren't in their feelings about Julia, but Julia technically was like me. How I'm, my dad is Black and Native American. My mother was Scottish. She's mixed. So Alfred with her dad, but her mother was Black. So she was half white, half Black in the comics, and then they made her white in Gotham, which it is what it is. I mean, characters get race bent. It is what it is. Unfortunately, with mixed characters, though, I'm like, every time I see a biracial or a mixed kid get race bent, I'm like, come on, how can you race bend us? We're half and half. But whatever. But as for her character in this, I actually enjoy the actress. I enjoy her chemistry with everybody. She has chemistry with people, which is interesting. And it seems like right when we get in, like Julia will go away and then she'll come back and then she's gone again. And this time she just moved all the way to Germany because she was brainwashed. And no one, even right now, no one has said anything about the fact that Julia is still gone. I guess they really feel like she just woke up one day and decided to go to Germany. And that's just weird to me, especially with Sophie. Sophie should have known better. And then I keep thinking she must not be working for an international version of, what was it? She was working for MI5, and then she's worked for a lot of British organizations. I can't remember who she was working for, but I feel like that where she ended up is not actually where she said she was going. I feel like they did something to her. I don't know why. I have a feeling that Julie is probably like being held hostage somewhere. I don't know why I have that feeling, but I do. I don't mind a gay character, but when you make a show so much about race and sexuality, you take away from the spirit of the show. See that, like I said, it's hard because I get what you're saying, but at the same time, comics have always been political. So like, I don't know how to counter with that, because there's always going to be some form of politics because they try to make it real. And if you're going by today in the United States, I mean, everything every day is this way. You don't have to watch TV. Just turn on the news. It's outside. It's crazy. Yeah, Kevin Conroy was a scary Batman. I did enjoy that. I mean, Kevin Conroy was doing it. I was so excited because I mean, all of us love Batman. You know, all the Batman, the animated Batman series. Everybody loved his voice as Batman. You can definitely tell when it's not him. But I will say, I can't remember if it's his son. His son's also Kevin's son is also a voice actor. And then so is Superman's voice actor. His son actually has done Superman before too. I don't know. I may be getting them mixed up because I think Kevin does have a son that's a voice actor, but I know that, and I don't know why his name went out of my head. The one that does Superman, the Superman animated series, his son has done his voice too, and they sound so similar. But Kevin Conroy is amazing. I think he is very, very cool. But I mean, no joke. Bruce was around for Talia in Arrow season 7 because I doubt Kate was good enough to put Talia in prison. So where has he been? Because if you put Talia in jail, that wasn't 5 years ago. I agree. Well, and then they're gonna try and use this Crisis on Infinite Poop to rewrite everything. They're gonna say, "Oh, well, that didn't happen," and that's another problem I'm having. Like, I don't understand what Crisis actually effing affected because it just seems to change. Like, Superman and Lois, it retconned almost all of their crap, but they still remember Lex and they still remember Crisis. So it's like, if you remember Crisis, then how do you not remember you only had one kid? I don't understand that. And so Crisis seems to be selective memory syndrome, which still makes no sense because Martian Manhunter was the one going around educating everybody on what happened in Crisis. You were a Paragon. This is what went down. You were a Paragon, and this is what went down. Now everyone's like, remember Crisis? And I'm like, no, what the hell happened? We had Bebo. We had Anti-Monitor that we could just basically shoot with a BB gun. I don't understand what the Crisis was about. Oh my gosh. Don't get me started. I'm going to end up having high blood pressure. The films, animated and live actions, don't like the Green Lanterns, considering how often they kill them off. Yeah, that is true. I'm hoping that with the coming Green Lantern or the Lantern show, that we're going to have a darker, grittier, and very kick-ass telling of the Lanterns because we finally need it. We need it. We need it. And so far, the casting looks cool to me. I am still hoping Jessica Cruz is in it because, again, I love her character because I love that she has general anxiety disorder and that she has PTSD, but she still has to be a hero. I love that about her. Not many characters can do that. And you know, her backstory makes sense. Her having PTSD makes sense based on what she went through. I really don't want them to cut that. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to have, you know, all of our Lanterns are going to be by time periods. So I think we're going to start off with Alan, then we're going to move our way down. So, I mean, and then I think we even have some Lanterns coming that are completely made just for the television show that we've never seen before. So I'm okay with all of this. I'm okay with all of it. So, let's see. Oh, here's a good question. How much do you think Crisis has changed the timeline for Bruce or even Kate? Well, I feel like this is hard. I don't feel like a lot has changed for Kate and Bruce at all. Like, I'm being real. Like, I don't feel like a lot has changed in Gotham because of Crisis. Luke's still Luke. He still has the same memories, the same situations. Nothing got retconned. You know, he doesn't suddenly have a wife and a kid. Mary's the exact same. Sophie's the exact same. Jacob's the exact same. Alice is the same. Like, everybody is the same. The only thing that ever affected them was they had another version of Beth from another Earth. And that's literally their contribution to Crisis's timeline. Just like Black Lightning was not affected by Crisis in any form or fashion. When they came back after their world was destroyed, they got right back in the same situation with Gravedigger and the Makovians and the ASA. Nothing changed because of Crisis. It only hit Supergirl, kind of the Flash, and Superman and Lois. It didn't hit anybody else. So I don't get it. Crisis affected everything apparently, but with stuff they changed, some of the shows they did before Crisis have been so weird because how long was Kate Batwoman now if they changed when Bruce left? And that's the thing. I mean, I don't even feel like they changed when Bruce left. I think it just depends on who's writing it. It is a writing problem. It's inconsistent, basically. Well, we can agree to disagree on some things. I'm all the way cool with respectful discourse. Yeah, it's fine. You're never going to get that from me. I'm never going to be like, how dare you, Michael, have this opinion on my channel. I only get upset with people when they try and go off on other people about imaginary content. Like when you are so in your feelings, you feel the need to attack somebody. That's when I draw the line. But outside of that, it's fine. I mean, heck, you don't have to agree with anything in this review. It's completely okay. This is my opinion. It does not say Maria's opinion is law. I'm just saying this is how I feel. Everybody has their own opinions, their own interpretations of things, and that is why interpreting things is such an amazing thing. I love it. I love seeing and hearing other perspectives, even if I don't agree with it. It's fine. No worries here. Did they confirm season 3 yet? I'm pretty sure. I think we are getting season 3. They did it 3 months ago, pretty early on. Like right when they confirmed that we were getting another season of Nancy Drew. When Kate, Cersei, and Ryan fought again, I was so worried for Ryan. So was I, because she got her ass whooped. I'm like, I knew she was going to get her ass whooped. I mean, I already knew. It is literally Kate Kane. It is not Cersei. Cersei is the weak, unfortunate woman who went crazy because she was assaulted and framed by the crows and thrown in Arkham Asylum. That's Cersei. This is all Kate Kane. The fighting skill, all of this stuff is Kate Kane. So yeah, Kate Kane beat the snot out of Ryan. I honestly thought they were killing Ryan off. No, they can't. She's got main character insurance. Honestly, personal opinion, I like Wallace more than Ruby as Kate, just because her and Alice actually look like sisters. I love Wallace more than Ruby. I'm gonna be real with you, and they look alike. And what irritates me, because I did not know this, I did not realize that Wallace Day originally tried out for Kate Kane. She would have been an epic Kate Kane. She would have pulled that off flawlessly, because she dresses adronously, but she also dresses very feminine. She likes wearing dresses and makeup. So she would be a lot closer to the Kate Kane in the comics. And I would have been here for it. And I don't know why they didn't cast her. But again, it's the CW. Some of the casting choices they make are interesting. So it's a thing. And now it's too late. I mean, honestly, when Ruby left, they could have said, Wallace Day, here's Batwoman on a silver platter. We liked your audition. We're bringing you in. And they didn't. And then they brought her in anyway as Kate Kane. And I'm like, this is so stupid. But I mean, I don't dislike Ryan's character. I don't. I feel like right now there's just a lot going on. So I don't want them to completely kill off, because what they did to Black Canary and Arrow, I still have not gotten over, because that is not Black Canary. Black Siren was a better Black Canary than Black Canary. White Canary is a better Black Canary than Black Canary. So I am not happy with what they did with Laurel's character as a whole, or should have been Dinah, but her character as a whole. And it's literally to basically make Felicity a more valid character, which she never was in the comics. She was a millisecond character in the comics, in the Batman comics, not even an Arrow. To make her be valid, they had to sacrifice a canon comic book hero, and it pissed me off. So yeah, I'm not happy with that. It's open to interpretation. Yep. I enjoy Ryan's character, but what puts me off is her poor motives. Like, one thing that annoyed me is that she said the crows planted drugs, when in reality she was holding the drugs for Angelique. Yeah, that is definitely a writing thing. I feel like they needed to make her more acceptable. They should have said that from the jump. I would have been down with Angelique hiding and stashing the drugs on her and her being framed. That would have been, to me, a better way of saying it was planted, but it was actually planted by the girlfriend. But no, she physically took those drugs and then took it upon herself to go walk around with drugs and got arrested for carrying. She was carrying drugs. But this time she really was, it's almost like the boy who cries wolf. This time she's really saying she's framed, and then, of course, her parole officer didn't want to believe her because of the first offense. So yeah, it's a thing. I honestly think Alice is not going to make it after season 3. Oh, I think she is. I think she's going to become Red Alice. But they're trying to do this redemption arc on Alice, and Alice is too much of a complex and insane character to make her completely good and redeemable. So, but it looks like that's what they're trying to do. So we'll see. and was caught for them. So the crows weren't really dirty, but were actually doing their job. I agree. I absolutely agree with that. I think she had a conflict on another show at the time. Huh. I need to look into that because seriously, she would have been the perfect Kate Kane. I don't know what they were doing. The crows only became dirty like ever since they showed Tavaroff. Like they keep saying the crows are dirty, but never showed anything. Well, there were the two that hit Wolf Spider and left him for dead, basically. And then, of course, they did learn that there was another agent last season, remember, that was taking hush money to cover up crimes that this judge was doing. And they were letting criminals out during the evenings to go carry out like bank robberies and assassinations and stuff for the prison to get funding. And they found out that there were crows involved in that too. There are dirty crows within it, but it's just like, it's just like cops. You have good cops and you have dirty cops. It's just a thing. And GCPD is full of people on the payroll for Black Mass. So in essence, there really is no security in Gotham. I love Ryan's character. I just wish they focused on her more. I wish that I need Ryan to train and be stronger. And like you can see now, she's insecure as hell. She is. And I mean, again, Kate beat Ryan's butt. There's no other way to look at that. This is the second time that Kate has handed her ass. And it's just what it is. So I guess I'd probably be in my feelings too. Okay, but no joke. I feel like they had more planned off of the crows in the original Kate plan. But once Ruby quit, they had to play the crows off a whole different way. I agree with that. I do. I mean, even with Jacob right now, I feel like Jacob's entire role in Batwoman is to be kidnapped and hit in the head. I really do. I'm just gonna be real. That is what he's here for. Ryan's backstory was a mess. Remember when she was supposed to be a former drug runner? Yeah. And then she was set up, and then she wasn't set up. She actually took the drugs from Angelique. Yeah, that's classic CW writing. Oh, but no joke. I want to see Sophie become a vigilante. I think it would be kind of cool. I could see that. I have to pick somebody for her, though. I want Punchline to come to town. I'm telling you, Punchline is crazy. Man, I would love to see Alice try to outsmart Punchline. That would be something. Oh, but no joke. Like I like how Luke and Kate's first season had no idea about the Batmobile. Like if Bruce used it, how do you not know about it? Well, in Luke's defense, he didn't know about the programs either. His dad ran everything. He didn't even go to MIT. He got in. He just didn't go. He basically was learning the tech as he went. He's just very smart. So I could see that his dad didn't show him all the blueprints and stuff. But I guess my question is, how did he know about all of the stuff in the back? Like he knew about all of the villain souvenirs and stuff that were in the separate areas of the Batcave. Why didn't he know about the car? And is there a bat chopper? But then I've always been the one to ask these questions. Can Ryan fly a bat chopper or a bat jet? Because she could barely drive the Batmobile. She didn't even realize that Luke was driving it remotely half the time. So I don't know. It's weird. To be honest, I don't really love Mary to join the crime fighting as like Flamebird so she can sort of be this Robin-like figure. Yeah, I mean, I want her to be Flamebird, or I want them to elevate Flamebird to a higher status where she's not a sidekick and actually is Kate. Because since Bet came before Kate in the comics, I still think that Flamebird would be a very cool addition to the team. I just don't want it to be like, Ryan's calling all the shots because she's still very green. I don't feel like she should do that. I feel like it should all be a team effort. They should work as a team. One person shouldn't be like, can you do this? Can you do that? No, listen to me. I don't think that's how that should be. I would like Bruce to come back. They keep bringing Bruce back. They need to bring Bruce back as Batman. I don't know why they can't. It's a different universe. It doesn't make any sense to me. First 10 minutes of the next episode, we're going to find a spare Batman suit because Lazy Ray. Yeah. What are your predictions for the season finale of Batwoman? Also, if we get Kate back completely, I'm gonna need her to train Ryan. That's what I was saying. She needs to train these people. She needs to be like Wildcat, just train people. Or we need to find Ted, and he needs to come from Supergirl, from Stargirl's universe, and train people. But okay, so what I think is going to happen, we're definitely getting Batwing. I think that's going to be made out of desperation because they don't have the bat suit back. Though they made it seem like because you know how trailers are, they're all out of sequence. They made it seem like that actually happened after, Ryan gets the suit back, because she's like, oh, I'm going to have backup out there. Well, how are you going to have backup if you don't have a suit? So 9 times out of 10, the introduction of him will probably be in the second half of the finale. But I think it's going to be a big showdown between Alice and Cersei, aka Kate. Alice is going to be the one that saves her sister. I already know this. I mean, they keep saying it. It's not going to be Mary. And I think that while Alice is dealing with that, we're going to have Ryan and Luke and Mary and Sophie having to team up to deal with the fact that they're making Agent Teabag into Bane. And, they have all these, they literally are going to have all of these villains, toys out there with different faceless, society members messing crap up and taking over Gotham, because he wants to bring justice to Gotham, and Black Mass is insane. So I'm just surprised they got rid of Victor so fast, because Victor Zaja would have been cool to actually keep around. He was a good character in the Birds of Prey / Harley Quinn movie. I think it would have been cool to keep him around longer in this universe, but yeah, whatever. Okay, I'm sure Lucius had a backup suit or tech for. I'm sure he has backup for everything. I mean, let's be fair. But what my thing is, when they were talking about giving Ryan's suit back to Kate Kane, she's like 5'11" or 5'10", and I'm 5'5". So Javicia Leslie is either my height or shorter. So how was that going to work? Like, how is she going to get in that suit? I don't get it. I'm just curious. How is she going to squeeze that 5'11", 5'10", whatever frame into that size suit? Is it adjustable? Does it just grow to, is it like something from Star Trek where it just adjusts to your body? I'm confused. I need to understand this. Also, when Kate was walking around a cave, I thought she went to the Bat Cave under Wayne Manor, but then it wasn't, and I was sad. I was that way too. I'm like, why can't we go to the Wayne Manor? I don't understand. Who's living in this house? I mean, I don't understand. Alfred's back in the UK. Where is anyone where are they? Where's anyone? I don't understand. Is this just an empty, dusty, non-kept house now? Because, when we had Hush and, he was masquerading as Bruce Wayne, he was living his best life in this house. There was electricity. People were everywhere. I mean, I don't understand. Was it, what is it, not Alice or Luke or even Mary that can shook Kate's memory, but what if it's only Sophie that can do something about it? That might be it, but I mean, it's going to be Alice because she's a twin. Twins have a very strong bond. Even though Kate loves Sophie, they still had a question mark in their relationship. So not saying that Sophie isn't important, because she did recognize Sophie in the last episode immediately, but Alice is the one that makes those thoughts and triggers come out. Because remember, in Kate's mind, it's the younger version of herself. The younger version of herself is not trying to get it on with Sophie in her mind. So I'm just throwing it out there. Like, how did no one know there was a whole huge case system under Wayne Enterprise? These are all fair questions, guys. It's because CW has a whole cave of plot holes under them. So I wish we saw Alfred more really. I wish we saw Alfred in general. I mean, we saw him in the Birds of Prey TV series, but I mean, I don't know. It could be self-adjusting like Wildcat and Stargirl. I would love that. I just need them to say it. I'm so tired of people assuming that we know these things. Just say it. Don't have us thinking, can she get her leg in that? Because I mean, I don't understand. Bruce is just chilling in Wayne Manor. Why not? Nobody else was there. The Superman and Lois Batwoman crossover should have happened because, remembering Supergirl, they mentioned that Supes and Bats have worked together before. So this could give us more details when this man is... I don't think it cut off. Sorry. Or where this man is. Okay. I said this before. I'm going to say it again. Why wasn't Bruce concerned that the worlds were ending? If anything is going to bring you out of hiding or from your sabbatical, it is literally the world's falling apart. Where in the hell was Bruce? Where was Alfred? Where was anybody else? So, where was the rest of the Bat family? Where was Robin? Where is anybody? Is Jason Todd in this universe? I know Jason Todd's in Titans, but I guess not in. I don't know. Ah, Lord. Wait, did no one notice? Not anyone notice Bruce was Batman after a while? How did anyone? Same reason nobody can figure out in Superman and Lois that Superman is actually Clark Kent. Like Lana Lang should have looked at him and been like, "You have the same hair, the same face, you talk the same. You are actually Clark." And I'm like, but nope. Those glasses, man. So like I wear glasses. So if I put my glasses on right now, am I no longer me? Do I look different? I mean, I probably do look different, but do you really think that I'm not me anymore? See, it's oh look, I'm back. I'm like, it's just stupid. It has always been stupid to me. always, always. So yeah, highly educated people can't actually tell the difference between glasses off and on. I'm glad Alice is like the key to fix Kate, because I swear if they flash this by using the power of love, like I don't know, Sophie doing a Disney princess kiss to fix Kate, like I would have just been like, all right, bye. You know they got to use the educational programming of Barry Allen, who is a Care Bear / Star Sapphire, to train the power of love, the paragon of love, to send out the message of I can fix you. I'm your sister. Like, so there's a Justice League because they mentioned Wonder Woman before Crisis on Earth. They did, but remember, I don't know what the heck happened now, because they reestablished the Justice League at the end of Crisis, where it had Superman, it had Sarah Lance, or White Canary, it had Black Lightning, The Flash, Supergirl, Batwoman. Who else am I missing? That's 6. I think it was those 6. No, Martian Manhunter. So that's 7. I don't think Brainiac was there. But now, who do you have? I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's just, there really isn't anybody. Like, right now, there's Barry Allen. Supergirl's about to leave, so she's gone. So Barry Allen and Sarah Lance are the only 2 left. That's a mess. Maybe Italia got Bruce Summer locked up like Batman Bad Blood. That might be what's happening, actually. Holy smokes, Maria, where did you go? Your face changed. I female, you are. Hi, Ray. When did they mention one of them? Because all I remember is seeing Diana's name on Earth 2's Barry's phone, or there was that brief scene of them Mascara and Legends. They did. It was in passing. I'm pretty sure I remember them saying something about Wonder Woman and Themyscira, or Amazonian. Something like that. It was weird, but it was very quick. And again, if you look at all of the villains that Batman has fought, why wouldn't he know any of the Lanterns? Why wouldn't he know, like literally any of the superheroes that should have been around with Batman in Golden Age are not. It's like they're introducing these characters now. Like Martian Manhunter actually was not in the original Justice League. Well, technically. And I mean, technically, he came a little bit later. But he definitely came before Cyborg. And it just makes me wonder, because we've already seen in Crisis where we have DCEU Flash, which Ezra Miller's insane, and then Grant Gustin's Flash, or Arrowverse Flash, meet each other and have Ezra Miller actually talk about, I need to tell Victor or Cyborg about this. And we don't have a Cyborg established technically yet in the Arrowverse. We did have one in Smallville, the TV show, but we don't have one in the Arrowverse. So we have no Victor right now in the Arrowverse. I don't know if that's going to be something we see in the future too. I have no idea. All I know is I thought we were going to have Painkiller as an addition, which still, it's weird to have like a villain / anti-villain as a hero, especially a leaguer. But it is what it is, or an outsider. It's just weird. It's just what they're doing. I don't understand. I don't understand where they're planning to go with this. I mean, honestly, you can take all of the heroes out of Stargirl and recreate the Justice League. If you're not going to do Infinity Inc. and you're not going to do the Net Justice Society of America, just make them all Justice Leaguers. Make them Leaguers, or Young Justice. Do Young Justice. Do something. I don't know. Young Justice would be actually cool. I would be down with that. Who are they planning to be the villain next series? They're running out of villains. Oh, no. Batman has a slew of villains. They will never run out of villains in the Batman universe, even though technically they use a lot of villains in Arrow. There were Batman villains, but there's tons of villains. They can even introduce members from the Suicide Squad. which I would be okay with. I mean, to me, the Suicide Squad is more of a Gotham thing anyway, to me anyway. But, you know, it is what it is. But I really, again, I know she's newer, but I would really love to see Punchline in Gotham to see if they can pull it off. Kate said, I would have dressed as Wonder Woman. Yeah. Somebody else said something about Wonder Woman too. Like they said something about that. They said that Themysciran or something like that, or that Amazonian. It was really quick to save Sophie. Is there no Robin or is there no one but Bruce? I mean, at this point, it seems like there's never been anyone else. I don't know. I wish they would go more into the whole Bat family lore because we have no idea. I need to know because if Alfred's retired, you know, Alfred is gone. He's off doing his own life. He's doing his thing. So it tells me that when Batman was, you know, and Lucius were working together, that they had all these Bat family members, but they're acting like they didn't. Now, to be fair, in the DCEU, even when they had Ben Affleck as Batman, and he had been Batman for a while, so he was seasoned, he didn't have a Robin or anybody else. I can't remember if they name dropped them. I'll have to go back and really think about this because it's been a minute since I saw Batman versus Superman or Batman and Superman, whatever, and then Justice League and the Snyder Cut. I don't remember if they name dropped any other Bat family members, but it's a thing. But he had nobody. So, I mean, I didn't hear anything about Batwoman. I didn't hear anything about Batgirl, Robin, like anybody. So I have no idea. Maybe they just don't want any other Bat family members. It's weird. Okay, but what are they doing? What are they going to do, honestly, even if they get Kate back? What is going to happen? They're all locked up. I mean, that's my point. There's no point in bringing Kate Kane back if you're just going to have her leave again. I think it's stupid. A waste of a good character. Next thing you know, they'll push getting Kate back till next season. That is possible. It may go off on a cliffhanger like that. I hope not. I hope she actually comes back in the finale, and then they have to figure out what the hell to do with her in the next season. And even if she takes on the whole, you know, age version of Bruce Wayne from Batman Beyond, I will be cool with that. And speaking of, we need to get petitions started so we can have Batman Beyond, and we need to have Kevin Conroy as Batman. That would be cool. If Bruce comes back, I feel like they're bringing Alfred back. Well, they should. I need to see Alfred. I just need to see him. Robin. Okay, I'm not sure where you were going with that with Bart, but hello, Bart. How are you? All right, guys. I think I got through all of the questions. Again, I am so sorry. I'm kind of cutting this short. Please leave comments below because I definitely will read them and will keep responding, but I'm just not. My head is literally caving in from these lights. I just don't feel well. So I'm going to go. We are going to have our, and I said it before, our Fate Wink Saga review is going to be tomorrow afternoon. I will set the stream up when I get back from my first doctor appointment. Told you guys I have a lot of them. So I have one in the morning. When I come back, I will set it up. And then I will also let you know when we're doing the Republic of Sarah, because we need to do I'm either doing a review on that or I'm going to do a very short video. Tuesday is not Arrowverse Tuesday anymore. We're moving it to Wednesday afternoon. So it will be Arrowverse Wednesday because Tuesday, Motherland Fort Salem comes back. It is the premiere. So I'm going to start doing the after shows for that on Tuesday night. So if you're in the Motherland Fort Salem, that is what I'm going to be reviewing on Tuesday nights in the same spot that we had for Arrowverse Tuesday. So I'm just putting it out there. If you're not into that, then Wednesday afternoon is when I will do the stream for Arrowverse. And it will be Legends of Tomorrow, The Flash, and Superman and Lois. And then I'm going to do Kung Fu on Thursday. So, and then Friday, this coming up Friday should be the season finale, I believe, of Charm. So we will do our after stream for that. And then, of course, Saturday is kind of open season and all my catch-up videos. So I have so many videos and my other channel is hurting. So I'm going to have to do that too. So, but please, please, please continue on with your theories, your comments, what you think is going to happen in the season finale, what you want to happen in the season finale. Leave it in the comments below. Like this video if you have not liked it because, you know, YouTube doesn't think I have friends. So that was very, very appreciative if you do. And yeah, so if you're basically getting up for the day and it's daytime for you, have a great day. If it's evening and you're settling in for the evening, then have a very good night and try not to work too hard tomorrow. All right, guys, I will see you at our Fate Winx Saga stream tomorrow afternoon. So be on the lookout on the community tab. Bye, guys.